Well, I'm gonna wait for my tour group to come. Hopefully they'll be here soon. I hear people appearing. Aha! Hey Snow, hey Lucy.
Hey, this is huge.
So welcome to Apartment Complex Delta, my most complicated and biggest build that I've made in Sansar. I really wanted to kind of show this off on stream because I'm pretty proud of how far it's come. And yeah, I wanted to go piece by piece how I made it and all the pieces it's made of, in the hopes that it will inspire people. This is kind of the culmination of me spending an hour a week live streaming on Twitch, building in Sansar, and look how far I've come. And we're gonna see some fun
awesome
stuff. Thanks. So, yeah, I'm gonna go into first person for this. So in front of us we have my Cyberpunk skyscraper. You'll notice it's almost entirely made of blocks from the Rooftop Template. So this is using the Rooftop Template. And we've got that block with the two little windows on it. It's kind of repeated all the way up, and then 6 hollow skyscraper units I bought off the store. So that's the other thing. I didn't script anything in here. I didn't build anything here. All of this I got off the store. All was part of the base Rooftop Template. The little row like red LED lights to guide you through the cyberpunk smog. That's the basic light from the Rooftop Template that I changed its tints to be red and gave a red light and then duplicated a bunch. And you can see it's slightly different to the one going to the left, because so that's with the tint to make it red, whereas this is tinted red and has a light. So I kind of wanted to focus people on driving them up to that doorway, because that's where you're supposed to go. So the lights are on that one, but these ones that go to the side here are just tinted instead of also having the lights. And I'll point out that we are in a audio cuboid that's playing a bunch of sounds. So actually my background's in video production and like video editing, so doing the background sounds I felt most comfortable doing. What you're hearing is audio from Waterloo Station in London, combined with what is apparently cafe audio from Tel Aviv, of some people talking, and having like hearing chinking little cups and things on their plates. And every once in a while, a train sound will play, and there's 2 different train sounds. There's like one arriving at a station, one leaving a station. And there's also a Terran sound thrown in there for good measure. I might actually...
So did you
go on?
did you edit together the audio clips in software, or did you just upload them separately and then place them around?
So what I did was I went to freesound.org and I edited all the clips I just mentioned together into one file using Adobe Audition. And then I had a background sound of the train sounds at Waterloo Station. And then I just kind of periodically, at intervals, put in trains arriving and leaving sounds and some things like that. I'm actually just going to go into desktop mode and increase my experience audio so that people can hear what I'm talking about a little better. And I'll increase volume as well. Cool. And then I have to hit F1 again. There we go, yeah. So if I was really smart, what I would have done is, instead of putting all of the audio on one block in this whole area, I would have put just the train sounds near what's supposed to be this subway station entrance/exit. And then I would have maybe put a different audio emitter over here at this building for like the cafe sounds and the general... Oh, I forgot there's like 2 tracks of car sounds just driving past as well. And I probably should have made those the general ones. And someone just roomed past me in the real world, and I don't know where they are now, so be careful. There's also a dog sleeping behind me, so I've got to be careful not to step on Kermit.
Is this Akira up on the screen?
Yeah, it's Akira. So if you follow me over here, so I wanted some visuals. Someone made this really cool like eye media surface. I'm gonna go over here to this tree. So this is a fan video to Flashworks' Futurisma, which is a really nice retrowave track that's emanating from that radio on the ground. And someone made a fan video for it using Akira, which is exactly the kind of visuals I wanted to invoke for this space.
Jeez.
And then I made a TV tree. So
I didn't look up until just now, and that is insane.
yeah, once you kind of it's gonna reset, and then it's one couple of bits. It looks really good in the video. So what I did was I just found. So this is again the tree from the Rooftop Template. And I found that if you change the leaf texture to be a media surface, it turns out all of those tree leaf textures are actually squares, so it made a whole bunch of screens. And then I retextured the bark with metal, so it didn't look like a tree. It looked kind of like some kind of art installation. But it kind of came out barky with where the text, not texture resets. And it's the same with there's some little bits on the grass as well, are also reset. But the bit where it shows up on all the little computer screens is actually like my favorite way of what it looks like on the tree. But yeah I really like. Here we go. This one. This looks great.
I don't know why, but with a headset, you get like a slightly different view for each eye.
Yeah, it's a little messed up.
It's cool though.
But yeah,
really interesting.
Yeah, I think Cyberpunk TV trees are my my addition to the Cyberpunk genre.
Oh, definitely. You need to make this dynamic, this radio, so I can throw it around.
Oh, you can take the music with you? Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, talking more about the things we've made of, we've got some like standing walls here that have graffiti and stickers and things on them. Again, bought from the store. Same with the building. And I got some Sansar Studios billboards I've been using. And there's even the little, what they call the generator from the Mars thing on the roofs, just to give it a bit more texture. And some animated wind vanes and radio towers on buildings in the distance. And then trash. I kind of feel like I need to fill in this big empty space with something. So I've been putting like pallet boxes and oil drums and dumpsters and containers and crates, just stacking them around and seeing what goes. And yeah. This is actually over here was the first thing I made. This was just, I was like, I'm gonna make a lot of trash in a corner. And all of this you can pick up and throw in the dumpster if you want, so.
Awesome.
So we've got a bunch of like dirty fluorescent bulbs and crashed cans and things like that, and all of these are dynamic, so you can throw them away. I want to figure out some way to do tracking so that you get like a little like congratulations if you actually clear up all the trash in the city.
That'd be funny.
Cool. Alright, I'm gonna go over here to this container. So this is actually all just set dressing. I got really carried away with just dressing the set. But what I will point out, so because these are supposed to be train stations, what we have over here is actual prompts that'll let you buy a train ticket. So if you buy this train ticket over here, it'll teleport you to Cerberus's Cyberpunk 2077 city. So basically you click that. It's actually a change machine from Game Poly, and I covered the change with a little bit of grill from the Rooftop Template, put in a TV screen with an animated texture and a keyboard, and then the keyboard is the interactive object. But don't go through with that because that'll teleport you to a whole other experience.
Okay.
But yeah, the idea is you go downtown and it takes you to Cerberus's much better Cyberpunk city.
Nice.
But I also started messing around with animated textures. I didn't figure out how to do that. I got a lot of help on how to do that. I found some really nice high-res kind of cyberpunky GIFs, and someone showed me a Second Life app, third-party thing someone made that will take that into, make it into a grid to make
flipbook
texture.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I lost like a lot of resolution in the process, but it's nice to be able to have some things that isn't the same as the media surface of just what looks like loading screens or like things like that. So trying to add some of that. I'll also point out these concrete barricades. The concertina wire on top is 3 separate pieces I had to manually put on top. And then duplicate all together and move around. So that object isn't made like that. I assembled that into being an object with some razor wire because I felt like Cyberpunk needed more razor wire. And yeah, added the little security cameras recently because someone just uploaded those to the store. Oh, and over here, because everyone needs Easter eggs. Over here, I mean, someone uploaded a red crowbar to a store, so I
Oh,
mean,
nice.
yeah, I'm gonna make a Half-Life 2 reference, of course. I had to have this in here. So if someone can
Pretty
make
cool.
an animated destructible crate, I'll make it play the sound of destroying a crate in
That is
Half-Life.
a really good idea. You've got to do that.
So I just need someone. See, this is the thing. I'm not a modeler. I'm like an editor by trade. So if you give me stuff, I can make it. I just need someone to make the pieces for me. And also, you'll hear emanating from a radio in here is some of the soundtrack from Blade Runner 2049 and a bunch of VR headsets. Cool.
Nice.
So actually, all of this is just set dressing. Let me show you what this experience is actually about.
Okay.
The whole point of it. So the lights lead you to this staircase. So we're going to go up this staircase. Yeah, we'll remember how to run in VR as well.
Oh no, my crowbar.
These lights were also bought off the store. They're an old barn light, and I just put spotlights under them. And they get brighter as the steps go up to try and lead you up here. And then these are actually some of my favorite things, is this dressing on the wall here. It's 3 different pieces of like one of the rooftop template pieces. That was all grass, and I textured that to be tiled instead by going into materials window, which I showed in one of my Learn to Build streams. And then there's a vent on there, and then there's the metal edge, which is also around the door frame here. And this is my favorite thing. This is in the rooftop template, and it's hidden away as like a little bollard, but it's actually really, really long. Like this is like 0.2 scale or something. It's huge. So it's really nice. Got this beautiful brushed metal texture. Looks really nice on the edges of things, and I just kind of use that everywhere to give a more cyberpunky look to it. When we go in here, we will have our nice fan sounds. So again, we're in an audio cuboid. There's 2. There's one just playing the fan sound on loop, and one playing a background hum on loop. And there's a couple of blue spotlights up there coming from those animated extractor fans. And then just the air vent from the rooftop template as large as I could make it, because I was kind of thinking of Men in Black, where there's that big vent and the fan when they first walk in. And then I just kind of covered, this was the back of what we saw on the outside, so I just kind of covered it with this nice textured grill thing and a couple of blocks from rooftop template to kind of fill this in here. So this was kind of like dead space, but I didn't want to just extend the ceiling out of the apartment building straight to the door. It felt boring, so I put something here. And Snow found his way out there.
Yeah, those the audio of the fans are really cool. Like,
Yeah, again, just free sound grabs.
okay.
And then we can come here into the apartment building area. So you're meant to go through that door, but I'll just talk about this corridor a bit. It's another audio compilation made by me and Adobe Audition. We've got background sounds of someone cooking in Thailand, dogs barking, and some cat meows. But it sounds like it's really quiet. I only heard the cat meow, and that's like the loudest sound in it, so maybe I need to increase its volume again. But yeah, and then we've got the same TVs with the animated, just kind of like loading screen texture. I just felt it was kind of cyberpunky to have a TV by every door. And then just trash. That was like the hardest thing about doing cyberpunk. It's like you just have to have an abundance of trash, just
Yeah,
kind of
it's like
scattered
a
around.
high-tech, low life, right?
Exactly. So we've got to
Have trash everywhere.
I've got like so many different kinds of cinder blocks now, and then the beer bottles. I love the dirty fluorescent lights; those are nice. There's cardboard boxes, the pallets, the dumpster.
I would ask, how do they get the dumpsters out of the building once they fill them with rubbish?
Yeah, so that was just I just kind of put them there because it was cyberpunky. And again, I tried doing. I just heard it. There's also a glass bottle smashing sound that I forgot was in here. That was the same one I used for the cannon that I made last week. And again, I tried to do the thing of the lights get brighter as you go up the steps, and the lights get dimmer as you go down this corridor by like an intensity of 10 each time, to just try and discourage you from going this way, because if you see a bright light at the end of the corridor, you'd be like, I'm going to go to the end of the corridor. And I'm trying to like, actually, you don't. There's actually nothing down there right now.
Yeah, that's a really good like game design tip.
Yeah.
Like, trying to guide the player through your level with lights.
Yeah. Doing the best I can.
Audio for that matter.
And the bottles and the fluorescent bulbs in here are actually all dynamic objects. They're just with the option to grab has been turned off. Because I didn't want people just like throwing trash all the time, but it was so tedious trying to line up them to be static objects on the floor and have them... I spent way too much time trying to perfectly angle a static object to be lined up with the floor, and I went, I'm just going to make it dynamic, and then gravity and the physics will take care of the rest.
Yeah.
And of course, you can't be Cyberpunk without like ads splattered everywhere. So I brought the billboards that are outside in here, and again, these are just free on the Studio Store. But I kind of want to get like a robot voice or like someone in a French accent going "Le Zoom, arrive in style," and just have that playing on loop like once every like 2 minutes.
You could probably change the emissive value on this so it glows.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, gotta have everything glowing when it's Cyberpunk.
Yeah, naturally.
Cool. So this is actually the main point of the experience is through this door in apartment 101. So I'm going to teleport up there. I'm going to ask we'll stay put, and then we'll walk through together, because I spent a long time working on something that's really cool when you first walk into the apartment. So click the door and you'll get a prompt to teleport up. Interestingly, I can hear the footsteps still. You guys coming? Did you misunderstand my instructions? Hey, you're coming up. Woohoo. Hold on, wait! Wait! Hold on, Lucy. Let everyone come, because this is one of my favorite things about my experience. It was one of the first things about. And it's going to happen if you take one more step forward. So, wait until Snow and Harley get up here. I'm not sure what's taking them so long. Because this isn't another scene, this is just a teleport to high above the skyscraper. Hey, Harley's here. And Snow, great. Okay.
Hi.
So, now you guys can walk down the corridor and see my favorite thing. Hey, Gordon. So, you guys ready? Because this is my first thing that I properly made in the space.
There's Majeka too, he just hasn't come through yet.
Okay, cool. We can wait for Majeka for a little bit. Because it's set that it happens when you walk into the apartment and only then. What did Snow?
Yes.
Hey, Majeka. There's Snow.
This
Okay.
corridor.
There we go.
Cool. Alright, so we're going to walk forwards, because as we walk forwards... It didn't work. Why didn't it work? Did someone teleport forwards?
Okay.
No.
Okay, I'm just going to press the button to do it then. Okay, it's broken.
Oh no!
The blinds, my favorite thing about this whole experience, are broken. Why is it broken? Okay, hold on.
But I've seen it working in another feed of yours.
Yeah. Why isn't this working? There we go. I just need to press it again.
It's so cool.
Yay, it worked.
Yay.
So,
Nice.
so there's a trigger volume when you walk down this corridor from the door that activates that, and then there's another trigger volume immediately after it that disables that script, so that it doesn't happen every time you walk down that corridor, but it happens when you first walk into your apartment. I might also make it play some audio of like, welcome home, because that's the idea, is that, you've come home and it automatically opens the blinds, but there's also just a button on the side here for doing it. And yeah, again, rooftop template pieces, this grid mesh, not grid mesh thing, what am I talking about? This grill just created this beautiful light effect, because originally I was just going to do bay windows, because I was inspired by Paula 70s apartment, but then I found these grid things and they created this wonderful film noir like streaked lights, and I was like, yes, that's exactly what I want. And again, we've got these uprights are the steel bollard secret tip of the rooftop template. It's actually like a huge metal pole thing, and it looks great, so I use that to kind of cover up where the grills intersect. The same with the bottom edge of the walls coming down. And yeah, then we've got out the window, we've got a bunch of skyscraper objects. There's 2 different kinds. And some of them I put radio towers on top of, and some other things to make them look a little bit more interesting. And then you can see the bottom of some of the buildings if you get in the right place. Wherever possible, I did my best to just put roads. there to just try and cover the bottom of them, so you can't see them. But it's difficult. It's fine if you look straight at, but everyone walks up to it and then looks down.
No, that's really cool.
Okay, so the whole idea of the space was to create. There should also be music playing. Why isn't there music playing? Okay, well, notes to be made. I just noticed I was like, it's really quiet in here. There's supposed to be music. Cool, but so the idea, right, was I love Shadowrun. I love Cyberpunk 2020. I love my tabletop role-playing games, especially the Cyberpunk ones. So I wanted to create a Cyberpunk setting to play those in. So we've got this dispenser that comes down from the ceiling, and then we have buttons all around it for everyone to sit around. And then like a Game Master bigger chair here. It's got to look important because it's the Game Master one. And then yeah, you press dispense dice and it will play a beep sound and a garage door opening sound and dispense a dice. So Shadowrun is a D6 system, so it just spawns dice. And
cool.
These were made for me by Zayas, by Alex. He made a cube shape and found a texture online. And he it was really helpful for that. So you can kind of roll these, and the table is made of 2 countertops, just inverted, and then there's invisible walls all around the edge of the table. So you can, if you roll them at the table, it'll bounce off the wall. It won't roll off the table. But yeah, my kind of idea was you just spawn as many dice as you need, and if I can maybe give them a bit more energy. You might not even need to roll them afterwards. It would just kind of like bounce around like cubes in a boggle ball. But then in addition to that, because it took me a long while to get these dice and I had this system set up, I've also got this button. So switch system is also supposed to make a sound. It will now spawn fate dice instead, and these were made by Urban Maggie and put on the store. So also a D6 system. But they use specialized dice that have these pluses and 1s on it. So you can play Fate or any D6 game in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you just need to clear them up, you just do remove all dice and they clear away. And then as a hard copy backup, I just have this tray with a bunch of dice. So you can just roll regular D6 in this tray. And this tray is pretty good if you don't throw them too hard and bounce them off the edge. And then there's just a button on the underside here to put them all back.
Yes.
And it moved all back. Oh, didn't move the one back you're holding. That's good.
No.
That's good. It's smart enough to do that. And yeah, and then we've got old school TV and some VHS tapes. Got some incense burning. Kind of went for a chill Blade Runner kind of Street Samurai who's retired kind of look. Got some 80s cassettes and a tape recorder.
I liked the Atari joystick.
Yeah, I wanted something a bit of. I've been using the keyboard and this deco doorbell button a lot for buttons, so I wanted something else for the dispenser, so I put in a little Atari controller. And the same. So this is kind of interesting. This is not what this is supposed to look like. This is supposed to be like a metal texture, but it came out yellow. It looked way better on the store. Something went wrong with this object, but it's only got all its materials merged, so I can't upload a different texture because it would just cover the whole thing. But I found the air vent in the studio thing fit in here perfectly, so I put in the same hum that you hear when you first walk in and a grill on top to kind of give it a sense of this is where your air is coming from, because air pollution is also a key cyberpunk idea.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, Gordon. Let me just teleport you past here. So coming into the kitchen, there's not a whole lot to see here. But again, we've got animated textures on this laptop. I just bought a cooker off the store recently, and then I put a miso ramen bowl thing inside of this frying pan thing to try and make it look like someone's cooking dinner, and there's some faint sounds of sizzling. And the fridge opens up as well, and there's beers inside, but they're not dynamic because they kept falling over. But there is a teleporter in there, which we're not going to deal with, but if you don't want to walk all the way back downstairs, you can just get blackout drunk, and you'll awake in a dumpster down in the base area. Yeah, we've got all these lights up here. Again, rooftop template, but I changed them to actually be emissive because by default that light plate isn't emissive and looks kind of gross. So I made them emissive, and they're sets of lights, spotlights each. And we have a light switch here, so the light switch also has a point light inside of it. And when I press it, it will turn off the lights in here. But I can't quite get the animation to work. Oh, here it goes. It's working now. Cool. This wasn't working before. Hooray. So it plays the animation one direction, and then it plays the animation in reverse when you press it. So great. I was testing this before the stream, and this wasn't working, so I'm glad that works now. I don't know why, but it does. Yeah, let me show you some more cool stuff. So coming into the kind of living room areas, kind of nice. And we have a radio that will play some music. At least it should. There we go. So it's going to play Joy from the Blade Runner 2049 soundtrack.
Oops, sorry.
That's it's also got some techno in there. There's 4 different
so I
tracks.
can pick it up. And let's go back to the first one. There we go. That wasn't me that time.
You guys can leave or whichever track you want. Yeah, I want to try and have
Like
some
the first
ambient
one.
music. Here. We'll put it on the jazzy. This is from the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's an audio emitter. This audio emitter in here is actually a sphere that covers the whole... I love your little robot dancing around with the T-Mugs. But yeah, this is an audio sphere in here that's playing this. This is actually one of the more complicated things, because each track is a separate script in the audio emitter, and then there's simple interaction on the radio that plays a different track on the script. So if I want to add a track, I have to add another script, set it to be simple sound, put in the commands, and then put in another audio file. So I
This
stopped.
was entirely done with SimpleScript?
Yeah, this was entirely done with SimpleScripts and an audio emitter. It was
cool.
tedious, which is why I stopped at 4 tracks.
Oh.
There's also only 4 clicks on Simple Interaction right now, so hopefully when they update it, now that we can have 20 things in a script, we might see more things in Simple Interaction. But yeah, we've got a little Zen garden here. This is just some rocks from the store with this animated waterfall thing. It looked better a couple of patches ago. Its animated texture doesn't look as great now. And then this is actually a huge desert terrain that I just scaled down as small as possible and tucked here in this corner. And again, look, it's my friend, the brushed metal steel pole, the secret of the rooftop template, to give it an edge.
Yes.
Nice.
And then again, you'll see you got the Akira music video playing up here. These are the transparent platforms old Vamp made me for my Leap of Faith maze. So these are actually completely invisible things, but if you turn them into media surfaces, they get this nice kind of glass quality. So we did that.
Elliot, you should try to experiment with the water shader, with the new water shader for the waterfall.
That's a great idea.
yeah.
Maybe that's why it started looking worse, or not as great. So we come up here, come into the bedroom. So over here we got another set of blinds. So
Yes.
the sound is a Terran building sound from StarCraft 2, slowed down to 10 seconds with its like pitch dropped by like about 20 decibels.
That's so specific.
And it makes a nice kind of crunchy mechanical sound.
Nice.
Yeah, if you want nice mechanical sounds that come in a short clip, steal them from StarCraft. Oh, and you found the safe. So if you click the keyboard, you unlock the safe, and it plays this little animation. Open it up, and it's filled with wads of cash. So there's like money,
That's cool.
plenty of money in here. Lots of hundred. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to throw that so forcefully at you, Lucy. But yeah, there's just like money everywhere, in like rolls and in stacks. I want to do something more clever with this. Like there's a button that maybe that wall lowers, and there's like a secret study with like a desk and a painting in it and if you move the painting behind the painting, there's a button that opens the safe or something like that. Because right now it's just a thing on top of the safe that just opens it, which feels kind of not very secure. No, you're gonna get crushed. You're gonna get crushed.
That was awesome.
But now that I figured out how to make an animation play backwards on the light switch, I'll change that on this, because right now it's just playing it and then resetting it afterwards. And then we got some just objects on this shelf. Again, this is an IKEA shelf thing, but I put the metal thing that I love so much on it because it's just a great featurette. And I've got these this is a metal frame, I think Rag made, and I just put an animated texture on it instead of using it like a picture frame, and I was like, and now it's a tablet. So trying to create that techie look.
Nice.
And here, again, the metal thing used around the edge of this bed to give it a frame to make it look a little bit more cyberpunk and sci-fi. And there's also some privacy blinds, because it seemed kind of weird to me that, you know, you could be sleeping in here with your femme fatale and you've got like no privacy, so the walls come down as well.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow.
And
Where's the switch for that?
the switch is actually it's over here. I kind of
nice.
tried to make it a little bit more
It's like hidden.
yeah, a little bit hidden away, like it's supposed to be part of the wall. Same with the light switch in this room.
Yes.
And that again is a Terran building sound from StarCraft 2, but it's a different one to the one that the blinds are made with. And they actually just kind of go up. That's again simple mover, simple interaction, and they just kind of go up and sit above the place. And then down here, you know, I've kind of shown you some of the most cool stuff now, but down here we've got these nice, kind of going for a Japanese kind of look. So found these art pieces from the store, and then I've got this tree here. So this is what the tree that we turned into a TV screen outside actually looks like, and I downsized it, and I was like, I feel like it needs to be in a pot or something, so I made the light, again, the light we saw that was tinted red downstairs, I tinted it green and gave it kind of a cyan, kind of turquoise light to kind of give it a kind of grow bulb kind of look that felt more cyberpunky, because trees are not very cyberpunky. I felt like it needed to look like it was being artificially kept alive. And yeah, that's basically it.
Awesome.
Well, that's my cyberpunk apartment. Been working on it in secret in my own time for a while now. I've had a lot of fun bringing this thing to life. And yeah, again, all the walls, all the floor is just pieces from the rooftop templates that you went into material settings to retexture them to get rid of grass and instead replace the grass with textures, with tile textures. So all these tiles was grass, and then the center here this was also grass, but I just retextured it by just going into materials and picking a different texture. I'm like, oh cool, now it's got tiles. That works. And yeah, just all assembled from rooftop template pieces. And there's a small hole I just saw under those stairs that lets you see out. So I need to put another block of something down there you can actually just see out.
Oh wow, it is a hole too.
Yeah.
There's some money down there.
Just throw the money out of the building. But yeah, that is.
So we're gonna have some events here.
Yeah, I want
in the
to
near future?
try and do like a role playing session. Maybe do like avatar broadcasting with it. So I'll like run the game and get some players, and we'll do like a cyberpunk game, and avatar broadcast it out so people can be running around and having fun in the apartment while we're sitting over there playing. I'll probably do it in the Fate system just because Shadowrun would be really hard to do, because you can't see your character sheet. Is the crushing realization I reached, is that like even if I made the character sheet a media surface and streamed that in somehow, it would be the same for everyone. So I was like, well, you could go to roll20.net. That's a website where you can like do online role-playing games with your friends, and you can see a character sheet, and you can see like a grid map and all of that stuff, and you can do dice rolling as a chat. So I was like, you could pull that in through like an HTTP script or like a media surface, but then you basically just be playing Roll20 while sitting in here and then using here for the dice rolling, which I guess is okay. But I think what I might do is Fate, because Fate has very basic skills. Like, you just have skills that make sense, and then you have +4 dice or +2 dice, and you have few enough skills that you could probably remember everything that's on your character sheet with a Fate game. So, or I guess
Sounds
people could
good.
just be in desktop mode and they can be all tabbed out. But I feel like the dice rolling feels so much more satisfying in VR.
Yeah, definitely.
So, well, I'll have a think about that. Maybe I would have to be in desktop just to be able to like look up stuff in the rulebook. But that's the nice thing about Fate is it's a very, however you want to do it kind of role playing system. So it's very story driven. It's not very mechanics heavy. So you can just kind of do what you like, and the dice just help you resolve a conflict. Whereas Shadowrun is like in 12, 18 dice pools of like very specific hacking actions, and it would be too much to do here probably, as much as I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Have you done DM for Shadowrun before?
How about yeah, I'm GMing a Shadowrun game right now actually for my wife and some friends. Yeah, me and my wife actually kind of started dating when she was running a Shadowrun game. And it's still one of the best campaigns I've ever played in. And now I'm running a game, and it's the first game I've run, but it's going to be going pretty well. And yeah, hopefully be playing more of that. I just started reading the Kill Code book. It's amazing! Oh my god, Technomancers are so cool now. I'm also playing in a game with my university friends back in the UK because we were all part of the role-playing society. So for a lot of them, it's the first time playing Shadowrun, but not for me. So I tried to play a Technomancer, which is really complicated.
Awesome.
I'm enjoying that. So yeah, this has also been going on while I've been reading the Sprawl trilogy by William Gibson, and I read Snow Crash recently, and I read Virtual Light, and now I want to read the rest of the Bridge trilogy. So I've just been really becoming a cyberpunk obsessed person over the past couple of months.
These are so good. Yeah, these books are amazing.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed reading Virtual Light because it's about San Francisco, and I was like, oh cool, I know exactly what street she's on. There's like a chase scene, and he names the streets, and I'm like, I know exactly where she is and where she's going. So that was a fun part of that. But yeah, I think the only other thing I might mention is that there's a VR headset on the bookcase in the bedroom that actually links to Nebula's Gridlock game. So when you click on it, it'll say play Gridlock, and it'll like take you away to that experience. So trying to like frame Gridlock as being a video game in that's like inside a VR headset for that. So I thought that was just kind of cute, and I might have some other hidden links to other cyberpunky experiences. There's also a machete, and that was the first time I learned how to add a physical volume to something by going into scene objects, right clicking it, and going add volume, and then adjusting its shape by adjusting the extent. So that was the first object I turned into a dynamic object you could pick up, but
you can't pick it up, can you?
No, and then I turned it static again because I was like, I kind of want this to be like where people can sit around and chill with like some cyberpunk vibes or do some role playing. Someone running around with a machete stabbing people.
I was just about to do that.
Exactly. It just seemed kind of against what I wanted, but
okay.
Maybe I'll make a knife throwing game. Like if you give some people a dartboard to throw the knife at instead of throwing it at each other, maybe it'd be alright. But yeah, that's the place. This has definitely taken a lot longer than my regular builds that I've been doing on the stream. And it's just been me like assembling it. But yeah, if you want to try and build something like this yourself, go into Rooftop Template, start changing materials. And what I did was I built the floor layout first of just the floor bits, and then figured out where the stair pieces would go because I wanted this lower a bit and what the windows would be like, and then kind of build up the walls. So I built all of this first, and then I built the cyberpunk downstairs, and then I slowly started adding interactivity in the lights and the animations and decorating it with all kinds of different objects. And it's been for a few different versions, but yeah, that's where we're at. And what's the time? Okay. It's 11:10. Let me Whew. Stream still going? Okay, let's have a look at Twitch chat. Sorry guys, I meant to open up Twitch chat in Oculus Desktop, but I just didn't get to it in time. Is it listed in the Atlas? It will be after this. I didn't want to list it first and everyone just shows up, and so I will list it after this. So yes, Sensational and Gordon, it will be public after this. And what I'll probably do is make... I hope you guys can still hear me. Let me check.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can still hear me? Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, just looking at Twitch chat. So yeah, I'm gonna make this public at the end of the stream, and then I'll also... I might make a night version and make a less kind of high-end samurai kind of apartment. Instead, make like a grungy, dirty hacker-looking place and make like a night scene version. I might also want to make.
I want to see that too.
Yeah, and that will probably be like less like jazz and Blade Runner soundtrack and more techno, a lot more techno. And then I also want to make a version that doesn't have any of the downstairs. It's just the apartment itself, so that you don't get a lot of lag if you start throwing dice around. And it'll also load a lot quicker because it doesn't have the whole cityscape.
I request Outrun in the hacker soundtrack.
Yep, that's perfectly doable. It's just a matter of... Whoops, I'm getting some weird stutter here. Hold on. Okay, sorry, the Oculus was not happy about me having another window open. Okay, yeah, I'll try and make a couple of different variants on this. What I'm kind of waiting on is the saving an object to your inventory, because that allowed me to build something with a script and test it, like the light switch, and test it in a small scene that builds very quickly, and then save it to my inventory if it's worked, and bring it in here. So we're expecting that in the next release in the first week of October. So that'll make that a lot easier. And then I'm also hoping, which I need to make the case for, is the ability to duplicate a script, because right now with this audio emitter that's playing the music, if I add a script, I still have to go select simple sound from like a drop-down menu and then start all over again. And I kind of want to just like duplicate the same simple sound script that's already in it, and then just change what audio file it's playing. So maybe I'm missing something there, but if anyone knows how to just duplicate a script instead of having to rebuild it every time, that'd be great. But again, that's something that'd be a little bit easier if I could build it in a small scene, test it, see if it worked, and then save it all and bring it in here. And again, hopefully next release. Yeah, and then I think the only thing that's stopping me from making just the apartment instead of all the cityscape is a drag select, because otherwise I have to select every single object that's downstairs and delete it, which will take a very, very long time. So apartment light will take the longest to do. But yeah, well, thanks so much for coming, guys. I think the only other thing I'll mention is this isn't working. Okay. The only other thing I haven't shown is that there's a reset button. It's not working right now, I don't know why. But that keyboard will do a reset on everything. So it will close the safe, close the fridge door, open the blinds, turn on the lights. And I need to set it so that it also resets all the dice, takes the pipe dispenser back up, stops playing the music, and yeah, I just need to add that it will put all of the money back in the safe now, because I just added that for fun before the stream. So, but yeah, just general, again, kind of game design ideas. Have a reset button in case someone just gets stuck somewhere, because it also opens the privacy doors. That was my main thing, was like, what if you somehow got stuck on the other side of the walls that come down here in the bedroom area, you couldn't figure out how to get out, and So I was just like, there needs to be a reset button that just resets it how it's supposed to be when you first walk in the apartment in the event of something going wrong. So just a little tip there to have that. And that's just a simple interaction, and the first click is just every single command, comma, and then it's like command, comma, command, comma. It's just this huge long list of resetting everything in the space. But it's really nice, and if I add something to it, I just add the command for resetting it on the end of that string, and it's just the string that resets the whole space. So cool. Thanks very much for tuning in, guys.
Thanks, Elliot.
Yeah. Hope you guys liked it. I'm going to publish this, and people can check it out. And in about 5 minutes, Sansar Top 5 will be kicking off with its parody theme. So get parody. There's a collection on the store. I added Juggalogs, amazing undead pirate captain avatar to that. So you can get on parody and join Top 5. Thanks again, guys. Whoops.
Cheers, Elliot.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you for that I may come and see this.